Yo, what's poppin', gamers? Hello, welcome to another awesome Link to the Past match. I'm giggling a little bit at Buane's.
Oh, maybe. See, I was on mute. I was definitely laughing a bit harder than I should have.
And then I'm also laughing at his Twitch title, but I guess according to Buane, welcome to SpeedGaming 69, everybody. Hello, my name's Ak. I'm also joined by. You can introduce yourself. I'm not gonna do it.
I thought I was Ak.
Yeah, that's what I said. I introduced you, you introduced me.
Yeah, well, so, okay, Clear Mouse, do you actually happen to see what's on Buane's shirt today? I think he is hoping, maybe, that he's going to be able to get a prize for 500 rupees. What do you think?
It does look like his shirt had a Zora on it, and that Zora might have been regurgitating a hammer.
Then we are going to keep a vigilant eye out to see, in this case, what 500 rupees is going to buy for us later. Oh, but we're probably supposed to actually say something about these runners, right? Okay, so we've got Buane and Gem, two probably names that have you heard of them, by the way? Actually, I know you should have, of all people, Act, because last year, Buane was in your groups for SGL 2020. So if you don't remember even your group mates, I'm going to be ashamed.
Nope, never heard of him.
Okay, alright, well, you know,
and then Jim, the guy that eliminated me at the first SpeedGaming we've ever played, I've never heard of him either.
That's right, it was, man, the memories, right? SpeedGaming 2019 was actually in person. I think it was at Ak vs. Jim. I think that's even on YouTube somewhere, right?
The only person I can remember is Thelane, because it says Hi Thelane on the upper right corner of Instagram.
You know, actually, yeah, if you squint, it's a little bit small, especially on our, like, S3 broadcast, but yes,
it's there.
Trust you. Dude, are you watching the sync here? Okay, see, we've got, like, two extremely talented runners, probably two of the best runners in the entire community, millions of accolades for each of them. Buane has a very impressive NMG time of a 123.
That is very good.
Yes, Gem, of course, has lots and lots of rando titles. Famously, of course, getting second place 2 years in a row at SGL 2019 and 2020. Certainly looking forward to hopefully doing a little bit better than he did last year.
But that's this Gym?
Yeah, that's
He's really good. Oh my gosh!
Did he also win like the 2018 like summer or something? There was also a cash prize involved in that one too, right? But it wasn't labeled under SGL official, but I thought it was still part of this.
It was SpeedGaming 0.
Okay. Oh, speaking of 0, is that like Coke Zero? It's just like 0 calories, but like maximum flavor. Is that something?
Well, for Jim it was, I guess.
Yeah, so this is, of course, unsurprisingly, this is winner's bracket, round of 32. So this is going to be the kind of the last stage. Winner, of course, gets to move on in the double elimination bracket to the main bracket of top 32, which actually, at GG's, you actually just made it earlier this morning. So potentially you're going to face one of these guys, maybe in your bracket path.
I should have lost.
Well, you know, it's not really that much better because the loser of this race is going to drop down to the loser's bracket, which, if you had also lost, you also would have faced potentially one of these guys.
Oh, alright, so win or lose, I was screwed. Thank you, Clear Mouse. I want to talk about this.
Yeah. Of course, you know, this being a unfortunate, I mean, this is probably one of the best matchups, you know, in all of SGL, and coincidentally, actually, the kickoff race, qualifier number 1, we actually managed to feature these two racers on stream. Yeah, I forgot how many racers there were in that qualifier to begin with, but it's really cool to be able to see Buane versus Gem, not only the first race, but also one of these kind of like final bracket races before we wait for the main week of SGL.
Who was out of the qualifier and the restream? So
it was Buane, actually, and that one actually. Speaking of Flute and Big Chest of Hera, where the big key was in the basement, both of them skipped Hera basement.
And I remember that one now.
Missed their Gomo Flute, and then ended up, so I guess like, and this they had the Gomo Flute, but it was like 10 to 15 minutes later or whatever.
Oh wait, that's what happened in mine. Oh, I see why you're saying that now. Oh,
it was. Oh my gosh, yeah, it was. Yeah, in fact, actually, if you picked it up, the Rolls racers who did pick up their flute early ended up getting, I think, Go mode or something out of Hype Cave once you enter the Dark World, because it just had like bow and hammer, and then Fire Out was on Floating Islanders or Highlight Islands. It was like an amazingly fast seed, and so of course Buane took the early victory, at least versus Gem for this one. So Gem is really hoping to take his revenge match here and take a win over Buane.
Yeah, after that qualifier, like, these two hate each other, so they are definitely out for blood in this race.
They were like all so buddy and friendly until that qualifier, and now it's just like a rivalry, and like they refuse to talk to each other.
Yeah, like they used to have Thanksgiving
every
year, and now
oh my
like,
gosh, dude,
they don't show up.
It's
just 2 empty chairs. There's no one to pass the gravy. It is so depressing. But you know, hopefully, if they tie things up here, then you know we can go back to having dinner.
Well, are ties possible here in SGL? I guess I didn't even think about that.
No,
Okay.
not to these 2. It's win and only win because these are 2 competitors.
Well, you know, maybe, but when you say tie things up, you know, so okay, so Buane's got like, you know, 1 over Gem this one so far, but maybe so that means that if Gem wins this one, then right, he is going to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then we can
have
Thanksgiving again. Yes.
Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's and.
Oh man. But yeah, in case you haven't read the lining on the walls here, these are 2 amazing runners. This is like maybe the hypest match you're ever gonna see in your entire life.
Are you thankful for webcams? I mean, so I think every single time that maybe like Jeff makes a very like slight misstep, he kind of shakes his head a little bit. You also okay? So I was gonna ask, have we seen the map yet? But it looks like we actually just found it.
Okay.
So in this case, we are gonna 100% be opening up that sanctuary chest.
What if it's nothing though, and then you just skip it? You save time over your opponent.
You do save time. You're really hoping that it's not gonna be anything important, like you know, let's say like an ice rod or something, and you would feel pretty bad, wouldn't you, if you left the last item there and you didn't find it for like the next, I don't know, hour and a half.
Buane.
Alright, okay, what did Buane come out with? 506? Is that what it was? Jen coming out with 509. Man, alright, so Jen knows he's already like probably 3 or 4 seconds behind Buane.
and both of them were like super unhappy about it. That's how you know they're speedrunners.
Yeah. Alright, so thank you. I think Buane and Jen both gave us a map check. I saw a couple of
it was a green pendant at Desert, and then another pendant over at Hera. And boy, I'm getting horrible flashbacks from 3 hours ago.
Actually, I think for the first qualifier seed that they were featured on, Hera was also a pendant. That's why no one wanted to.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh man. All right. Yeah. So shout outs, of course, to our tracker today, JLo7. Clicking on the button, I see already all the prizes marked on our screen. Unfortunately, it looks like we didn't get anything trackable in Escape. But we actually did get a couple of resources, looks like. So they don't have to go farm that like bonk rock bomb or whatever outside of Escape. I hope Jem actually saw that. I didn't. it looked very close, but
it did look like it was the you know what Jim needed to do to catch back up. I was wondering if Jim was ever going to be able to catch Buane because Buane had that better escape time.
Are you watching the sync act? This is like beautiful.
It's like they're dancing. Oh, why did you hold the tree, Jim? Oh, he held the stump.
Yeah, Oh, hello. Okay, so Buane actually looked like he was about to avoid it, but luckily he caught himself just in time in order to pick up that boat. That boat is and Crystal Eastern today. Amazing. The one crystal we have in the light world. So that is certainly a potential next common location that our runner's gonna go to. They don't have the lamp, but at this point, I'm sure they don't. They probably play enough seas where they're more than accustomed in order to do the dark rooms in the back.
I think Buane probably learned from Aries' mistake when it come to required item in Lumberjack, and then just noping out and jumping down.
I guess, do we technically know the fire rod was required on time? You probably want to pick it up anyway, though, right? Just in case.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not sure if I need this, you know, yet. Maybe I didn't need that bow.
Oh, we
do
did
need
actually
the bow, though, so we did know.
Yeah, so, yeah, we do need that Eastern's Crystal, and of course, we absolutely need those in order to get past the double readies in the back. But we also looks like we pick up a bottle, which is going to be really nice because we just turn into Sick Kid immediately.
And we could fill it with Bud Light?
Is it too early? Actually, you know what? Buane's here, like in Brando time zone, and Jem's all the way in Germany. So I think it's actually, you know, plenty not morning enough for both of them in order to, you know, get a little more spirit into their game.
Just be careful how you word that, or else, you know, you might be shaming Zolga a little too hard.
You're right. But I think actually, well, no, actually, Zelda might even be earlier than random time, so never mind. Should we actually pick up bombos? Ak, I would like not to have that item anymore on the tracker, please. We also pick up gloves and flippers. This is a lot of stuff very early.
That was like your 90% Ice Palace package right there.
90%. Oh, I guess we still maybe need like a this or something, right? Okay,
Yeah,
alright, that's okay. We're gonna make predictions as to if Gem or Buane dives into Ice Palace if they find the without the pearl. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is
Christmas couldn't come earlier, man. I'm so excited thinking about that.
What about Thanksgiving? I mean, isn't that the togetherness? You know, we've got other friends and
they hate each other after the qualifier, so they're not even gonna come.
We need other you know, runners or maybe top 32 bracket qualifiers to convince them that Ice Palace diving in without the pearl is a good idea.
Yes.
Hello. Never mind. Oh, you know what? Can we put that back, please?
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
I want me to go with Ice Palace.
Reset. Do escape again. I want to not get that.
I mean, maybe from Gem and Buane's perspective, it's like, you know what? I'm not happy with my like 506. I'm not happy with my 509. You're right. Let's just redo it. One of the few runners, by the way, which they may not be happy with that type of execution. Gem, of course. Actually, I think did we find both green rupees?
There's 2 green rupees in the pool. You know
there
that?
Are. Yes, because they're a pair. They're the only pair of rupees in the game. It's a pair, whatever, of colored rupees.
Oh, pair? Because like the feet, because it's green?
Yes. Speaking of, so I think Buane maybe saw or didn't catch it quite enough. He just saved.
No, he saw it. He saw it. He knows.
He saw it. But he's like, so he's frowning upside down. Is that an indicator of his satisfaction?
So, here's the thing, though. If he ends up doing like dig game and he has a mirror, he can get him that way, and maybe it's a little faster. Maybe he is like so confident in his ability that he knows he doesn't need them. I would say that it was probably a better choice to grab them, but I you know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he only takes advice from people who have either like moats named after them, routes named after them, or has like a 5 flat escape. Maybe.
What? I completely missed that.
Oh no. I was gonna say, so I mean, like, you know, Buane has his GT route. He has, I guess, he also came up with a couple ladder modes too, right? Ambrosia.
Oh, right. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh, so Gem though, wow, okay, we have so much open to us, with picking up a Master Sword and mitts from Eastern Palace. Most likely Gem's still looks like he's continuing on Eastern Palace, the fully clearable crystal. You know, actually one other theory I had for Buane not picking up the silvers was, you know, so Buane's obviously a very talented NMG runner. I don't know what he would do with silver arrows in Eastern Palace, because you only just have the regular bow. Like, I don't know if he's comfortable, like, defeating Armos that way.
No, I do apologize. Yes, what you said makes 100% sense now. I was legit doing like that math person meme in my head, wondering if skipping the silvers was okay, and I completely tuned out everything you said. So, yes, he does not normally get the silvers in NMG. This is not how we do things. So Buane is not. He doesn't want them yet. He's not ready.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and maybe, you know, for all we know, he doesn't know how to do silver's cannon.
And a thing to note too is that we did get another sword out of Mini Moldrum Cave, so it's very likely that Buane will be getting Tempered Sword very early, which you know, that's kind of the risk of not getting silvers, is being on Master Sword the whole time.
Yeah, but and of course, actually, similarly, I assume, you know, Gem will also make his way over to South Shore.
No,
and
he might not.
You know, it certainly has happened in previous races, you know, where they get so early Darkhold access, right? Mitts and Pearl or whatever, and then you don't do Mini Moldrum Cave until, you don't know, 35, 40-minute mark, right?
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have to. He could just be like,
"You're right, yeah.
To heck with it. I'm going to Ice Palace," you know?
You're right. We can get in. I mean, and for all we know, of course, the hammer could be there. Early mitts tend to trap the hammer or in some unfortunate locations to get to, but certainly very convenient if you find it in the dungeon that you can't complete.
Looks like we're banking on the 50-50 over here in Eastern. That was a map out of the big chest. I wasn't keeping track of all the items, but I can tell you that that map there means that there is either a dungeon item or a possibly progression item in the vanilla big key chest, which we are foregoing.
Yeah, so Jen actually did a really good job with that dark room. Oh, wow. You know, he did that dark room so well. Got a really nice
Stop complimenting him!
And,
he keeps messing up!
No, but then it's like, I think that's the hardest part for these runners, right? It's like, they seem to skip out on, like, I don't know, picking up pots or opening chests. It's like, maybe we need to go back to practice hack and, you know, pick up, like, 1,000 pots?
Yeah. That's kind of hilarious. Just reload picking up that pot and opening that chest, alright? 1,000 times.
Yep. Okay, so what did Buane pick up? He picked up something. There's nothing on Zora Ledge.
Nothing in the waterfall either. We got a B.
It looks like he did a B. Yeah. Oh no, Jam winning out on the 50-50. Historically, I haven't seen him skip this chest. I think one of the reasons why he gave was he saw one of his colleagues, I guess, skip the vanilla Vicky chest and had boots, and then he was so scared to skip them all over again. But this is casual boots start, right? So maybe
what could go wrong? He's already got them.
Exactly.
But now, will Buane make that same skip? And well, all right. So we could actually just skip Eastern. You ever think of that? Because I didn't.
I do feel like at some point there was like a goal or something at this game in order to, you need to collect 7 crystals, so I'm not really sure if you could skip it, potentially.
Well, we didn't do it now, so maybe skip was the wrong word. Maybe it was, diligently put off for later. Yeah.
Okay, so we're efficiently routing that dungeon later. We do not have a Dark World map check yet, but given that we've already seen 2 pendants, the chances that pod is going to be a crystal is actually pretty high.
Maybe he didn't want to do Eastern until he got the silvers. I don't know.
That is possible. I mean, he does have Dark World access for what it's worth, right? So this is maybe his play into Dark World. We don't have the mirror yet.
That was hoping
that if we can hope that the mirror is here in Village of Outcasts and will make the rest of his life much easier. So I think actually, looks like we found actually all of our medallions really early as well. So potentially we don't actually have to go on any medallion hunts because we picked up bombos in the well. He did, yeah. Okay,
so he has Quake then too.
Yeah,
that's what I was confused. I didn't remember seeing Ether, but I was like, but no, the tracker is never wrong. Just me.
No, of course not. It's just delayed. Just like Eastern Palace.
That mirror. Oh my god, that mirror
wow, that mirror bailed him out, man.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, you know what? All right, so maybe Jim used part of his luck and just skip that vanilla Vicky chest in Eastern Palace. Buane used like a ton of it up front here in Village of Outcasts. Is going to be able to get his silvers now in one swoop. Buane is 10 steps ahead of us, right? He knew that he was going to find the mirror, apparently, in Village of Outcasts, and he's going to be able to combine it with the game. Jem, please be careful here.
We got blue mail, we're fine. And there's a cream for that, too. Looks like we're going to be farming money.
We are.
Don't need to farm too much. Yeah. So we will get a Zora check from Jim. That'll be something that is very hard isolated from Buane.
Oh my gosh, dude. Buane even has the pink Zora shirt. He's wearing that today. I mean, oh my god. And we don't have the hammer yet. Are you worried about this at all?
If that hammer is on there, boy, I think we're going to get a little showmanship from Buane. That's the case.
I'm pretty sure that happened recently, right? Where somebody didn't get their hammer against you, maybe a couple hours ago.
Not too soon.
Yeah, maybe. Alright, okay, so how many items have we found out of Thieves Town so far?
At least one, because now that you've pushed the focus, he did open a chest which had one. I think we saw 2.
Yeah, I want to say 2 as well.
Yeah. It just reminds me, these are no slouches to SpeedGaming Live. Buane participated in the online event last year, but Jim has participated in both of them. I was also at the one that was live as well. I got to sit next to this guy who was smiling on the right hand of the screen.
Oh man, the privilege, Ag. It must have been so much fun up there on stage.
It is definitely a new environment. God, look
It
at
is,
look
yeah,
at
no,
Buane.
you're right though. Yeah, it's really, yeah, look at him. You know what? He is just gonna fly through this race game. It's almost as if he didn't see it the first time, but he's gonna come back for this one item. Look at that, 6 seconds is a race time game. This is someone
It
who
was a
has a
lot faster than
502.
Jim's. Yeah. The live event story I wanted to share was we were in a similar event. We were all just chilling, watching one of the races. I can't remember who it was, but it was very likely that the hammer was possibly on Zora because we didn't have that many checks, and the hammer ended up not being on Zora, and the whole entire crowd like sighed, and it was the greatest thing ever.
Oh man, what an experience! Oh, I mean, if only this year we could have had SGL live in person. Unfortunately, we couldn't. But I think next year, if all things go well, we're going to be able to hold a live event for 2022. So that's definitely something really to look forward to.
All right, Zora, what do you have today? It is 20 rupees.
Not a hammer, unfortunately. All right, so I guess Buane, for better or for worse, is going to be able to get his hammer elsewhere. Probably for the better right now, because yeah, the chance of him going back there anytime soon is not very high.
Without money, it's going to be a little weird, but also without money, there's a couple of things he can't do. For instance, we can't go into pod right now.
Correct.
Which might be something he's interested in, so that could change routing up a little bit. It seems like Jim's not going to be able to go there either. He got the money out of Eastern.
Gem to, sorry, you mean the back?
He must have gotten that 300 in Eastern.
Oh, let's go with yes, because I don't even remember what. Yeah, that was sort of Eastern. I just know that he got the last one off of Armos.
Yeah.
But I guess like okay, but unfortunately or fortunately for both of them, they don't have the hammer yet. So right, so going to pod directly right now is still somewhat inconvenient. So
Buane is going to pod 100%.
Oh, right. Oh, Gem, remembering that we can still sell the bee to the bottle vendor this time, man. See, this is some big brain play.
Look at that.
And yeah, so now he's got everything he needs. He's got pod money, he's got chess game money. He probably can make enough digging game money.
He's so fast at this game that like not only does he you know, run the siege super fast, but he also helps out the denizens. Buane also did like a little nod there when he got that $50. He didn't do Eastern, he got the mirror, like pod is on the docket.
Yeah. Well, see, he's starting to headed there now.
Jim getting his mirror?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's probably, I mean, he's happy to see it, don't get me wrong, even though you can't necessarily tell from that, but I think Buane's excitement in order to get the mirror so he can get the silvers off of race game. It's probably a little bit higher from his perspective.
And then we will run into the same choice Jim will have to make that Buane had to make here in Thieves Town. Do I stay or do I go? No hammer? Like, go seems pretty likely because you hate to go all the way to the back.
Right? Yeah, according to the upper right. You know, I know that Jem did a map check. Unfortunately, he's too fast at everything. Buane finding a hook shot though, that's gonna help him go in Hype Cave.
Hookshot, I think he's a little disappointed to find that because again he wants to go to pod, man. Look at his face. He wants to go to pod so bad.
But
the hookshot, the hookshot was too much because he had all the mountain.
But Ack, we don't have logical mountain access. How is Buane gonna get up there?
He's going to clank his sword along the wall and listen to the echoes that it makes.
Echolocation, got it. That's why he's Darklink. I understand now. It's like he has no lamp, but in HD.
Correct. It makes perfect sense.
Yes. Alright, so it looks like the Gem also noped out of Thieves Town. Let's assume that he ended up getting 2 items in the front, which I think is also correct. As in count-wise, so looks like he's gonna at least follow a very similar path to Buane.
I said I was gonna pay attention to the items in Thieves Town.
I mean, it's so hard though. I was like, these guys are going so fast.
I'll just watch Buane instead. Oh no.
Well, I mean, it looks like, I didn't hear any sword clinking on the wall, but I did see a lot of sparkle, so I'm just gonna assume that lamp in fact was HD, and navigated us up the mountain here. Old man doesn't have anything really exciting for us. Gem looks like though the digging game was actually too fast. This is the kind of RNG you want in Hundo when you're running NMG. But Gem really, in this case, took a little bit more digs in order to try and farm up the rest of pod money. He does need 10 more from somewhere, but maybe he thinks that that's going to be enough. He'll find, 9 more rupees basically from somewhere else.
Get them immediately from Stumpy, and then hopefully we will see also a Buane-like reaction from him. Even though we're about to spend 10 to turn in this frog, but he's gonna be okay. Maybe he even does archery game just in case. I doubt it, but.
Do you think? So I don't think we're both not accountants, right? But I mean, do you think Gem might have like an accounting minor or something like that? Because he looks like he's managing his money pretty well, right?
They both are seemingly pretty thoughtful of it.
Okay.
But I mean, also you could just not, and then just hope everything works out your way too. That's how I do my checkbooking.
I mean, the luck has certainly been quite, at least in their favor so far, right? He won his 50-50, skipping out on the Eastern Big Chest, Vanilla Big Key Chest. Wayne found his mirror in, was it chess game in Village Battlecast right before he needed it?
We just went into here or there. We only got a big key and a map, and we said that's enough. I'm out.
That's enough for Pendant Hera, I guess. So, I mean, they still have other options to go back there. They don't have a book. They can't check either tablet yet. They don't have the hammer, I guess, or really inside the invisibility item do Spike Cave. So, they still have motivation to get back there.
Sure. Whenever they go get their flute later, right?
Yes. We still haven't seen that flute. Oh man. Actually, did Buane doing all this stuff, right? He did purple chest?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he did all of it, and then we went into hype.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, when the hype cave got his hook shot, and then he grimaced a little because he was like, I was going to pot Eastern.
Yeah. Alright, so far...
Well, I was going to say, we'll get that decision on Chim's side, too, where he wants to go. Maybe he wants to go directly to the mountain after Hype Cave. Maybe he wants to go into Pod. I don't know. Maybe he wants to go check out Catfish Pyramids. So there's still a lot of...
Catfish? What? I'm sorry. I don't think that place really is on, anyone's mind right now. Especially
I said that location through my teeth, but
all right.
for the sake of the audience, I would like to
note
that it does exist,
it's,
even though it might not exist to these two runners.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually the check that eliminated Buane from last year's tournament of SGL was Catfish.
Oh, wow. Okay, so maybe
against Tam.
Yeah, I do remember. That's right. Buane made it into round of 32, or whatever, bracket line 32. But unfortunately, it was only a single elimination bracket, and best of one's fairly, so it can be very volatile and difficult to get through. And yeah, good thing you remember, because I didn't actually know how he ended up bowing out of the tournament. So maybe Catfish is on his mind.
I feel like between me and you, it terrifies me, because as a runner, I would be like, man, I hope I don't do anything dumb, because those two seemingly don't forget anything. They just rattle off random facts of nonsense.
Well, I mean, act like maybe, from us watching them, we're like, oh man, this is all prepared and calculated, but then you're like, oh no, they just probably just hope that, that things work out, right? I think we also do the same thing on commentary. We just say things and, we just hope that they're going to end up being true.
Nope, everything we say is calculated and correct. Also, that's a flute over there.
That is a flute. That is not Hera Basement, or Hera Big Chest for that matter. So we do know, yeah. Well, so what do we know in this case, Ak, about the non-HD lamp?
That this non-HD lamp will probably not be here in Spiral Cave.
Probably. Okay, so that means that you think it might be okay if White skips it. Let's make a prediction in 30 seconds, okay?
He almost did, but I do not think that we're gonna find a lamp here. I'm calling it. Right now.
Okay,
no
all right. You know what? So you said you made it to top 32, right, this morning? Okay, so I'm gonna trust you that you might know your mountain logic.
Well, that's like about as close to being on. Oh my gosh,
wow,
that's
a fire rod. That is like turbocharged HD lamp. I mean, you know, for all we know, right? You know, the lamp is probably sitting in a pod somewhere. It could be sitting in, let's say, swamp. You know, there are lots of places where the lamp is not whatever. There are item locations that are not locked by dark runes, so and that are easily accessible to us now. But it's just like, you know, why would you want to go there? Just in order to pick up the lamp, right? Especially when you're up against something like Buane or something like this gem. Like I would go as far to say that you know, perhaps, you know, these runners are sometimes going to make decisions that they think like, well, I need to cut out some time from somewhere. Where am I going to be able to do that the best? Because I need to save something against the other person.
Buane has had some history with Spiral Cave too, so glad he didn't skip it, and I hope Jim doesn't either.
Yeah,
but well, that fire rod's a huge item. That gives us quite a bit to do.
I am not, so I don't think Jem typically skips Spiral Cave. Like, I'm pretty sure he's like a big advocate of not skipping it. I also like to point out how smooth Buane turned in that mushroom into the witch, and just like, it literally just, it was almost like a drive-by, right? As in like, you know, it was just kind of like threw the mushroom at the witch and just went right on and then just came right back.
I thought you meant he just did it with like style. He was like, hey,
oh, I mean, it's
mushroom here. But okay, that works too.
It's like these guys just don't stop moving. Every single time there's always some sort of like input, like button input, whether it's direction or in this case pressing A. It's just like the movement from these guys are just so fluid. It's really just beautiful to watch.
Yeah, we got the flippers really early.
They were, well, we also had starting boots, so I guess we were like tap dancing, swimming, you know, all like you know, we could do everything, I guess, with our feet, right?
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
That's the way the seat should be. I don't know if we saw the Meyer medallion. I didn't see it. That's for sure.
Nope. You know, so they do have all 3 medallions, so maybe Buane is willing to save those extra couple frames in order to take a peek. So, you know, he just has that save over Gem, that's all.
Well, when you say it like that, it makes a lot more sense. Okay. Alright.
So Jeff's gonna be able to pick up his flute really soon. Actually, ooh. Buane was thinking about it, because I think that is a second bottle. Actually, and yeah, it looks like actually then, according to that, because they only picked up 1 bottle, both runners saw a like double 5 rupee in K45, so I think we now know that that is a shield replacement. Probably knew that before, but yeah, just how like the graphical, I guess, like rendering ends up working out. It looks like a double just because of how big like the fire shield is. But it is actually like an illusion, because if you actually go pick it up, it's only 5 rupees. But when you see it, right, like, you know, out in the open, it looks like it's 10.
I thought they just put that in the game to prove you wrong when you said that the green rupee was the only pair of rupees.
Oh man, you're back. You're right. I totally forgot about SGL settings. Oh man. Okay, so it actually does look like progress-wise, I guess, it looks like Buane is actually like ahead a little bit, but I think this is because Jem ended up going all the way to Sora, right? So he has that check over Buane.
Yeah, but Buane has that map in Hera. Don't forget.
Right,
that could be the difference that we see in this race. He also has the map of desert.
Desert? I think we did a map check earlier. I mean, how do we know what the crystals and pendants are if we are only picking up the maps now?
If he got the map of Thieves Town, he literally got all of the maps before he got a single crystal. That's pretty impressive. And looks like we're actually going to do it. This is a play by Buane. You can look at his facial expressions right now. He's like, I'm not thrilled, but this could be good.
No, he's confident in this. No, he knows exactly what he's doing.
People don't scratch their head in confidence, Clear Mouse.
He's
not confident about this.
I mean, I didn't tell you what level of confidence, right? Like, it's still confidence as long as it's greater than 0.
If you have 0 level of confidence, are you telling me that you're still confident? Because, I mean, it's still a level.
It is.
Oh, no.
But then, you know what this is? The green pendant, and you know what? Buane has not been over to the Eastern Palace area because I think he was waiting in order potentially to strut his not NMG muscle memory in order to try and take that Marvo. So this is actually going to be a very convenient turn-in, right? When he
did go into Sashrala.
But he's gonna go back for Eastern, right? And he has the mirror, so he can go back in the pod as well.
Yeah, and I was about to say, I think we're probably gonna end up doing that in the Dark World. But yeah, I imagine we'll probably see both of them. Jim, I think, is heading right over to Skullwoods.
with that fire rod, right? And Skull was being a crystal. Yeah,
Mhm.
this makes sense.
I think Jim will Buane will probably do that next, and maybe maybe both of them do this, but like a north route over into pod, or maybe they're feeling ice. But that hammer is being very elusive, like you said.
Dude, why are we not diving Ice Palace right now? We have all of our entries, things. Not only do we have the fire, we've got bombos as well. You know, I'm sure we'll just find the hammer in there. I mean, you know, hammer and pod or hammer and ice. I mean, we're taking bets.
And the best part about that bet too is that the lamp is probably in the alternative, whichever one.
Yeah.
So choose wisely.
Oh, all right. So we've got some really good value. Probably blessed by Big Dunka here, who I think is in chat watching. We have some ice rod, a very elusive item. Probably the last, I would say, most elusive item that potentially we're gonna have to go hunt for. Especially when Chrono marks a crystal. I mean, it's just so frustrating. Especially probably from like a runner's perspective when you're like down to your last, I don't know, the last 20-25 minutes of your race is just looking for that ice rod.
Yeah, everybody get your best old man impression and say never skip the front of Skullwood.
I can't hear. Donka probably can't hear you on the ladder that he's currently.
Well, I thought it was because of his hearing aid.
Maybe you can ask him that.
Wayne is still not doing Eastern. Oh my gosh!
You know what? You know what? Wayne is dead set. He's no. It's okay. So he's got Skullwoods, right. This is a fully clearable dungeon, right? Why can't you just find the hammer here in Skullwoods?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like this is fine because we at least know that it's not there in Eastern, but like. Man, just try to imagine the facial expressions that when you finally go to Eastern, you get the hammer and you're just like, oh yeah. You know, like, oh.
Well, you know what? Hopefully we're not going to have to imagine that because we've got webcams on both Buane and Chen, who look is actually very focused right now. Buane, unfortunately, looks like he's going to get a little bit of interference from the Gyptos, but one slash makes it basically clears them all out. He is capable of doing that room because he has 123 energy time.
I'm not looking at that at all because that's old news. What I am looking at though is Jim over here beating the crap out of this moth, getting his second crystal.
Yeah, that is it's gonna be really fast. It's like I just don't think maybe we got an item so far.
And that's also like infinity more crystals than Buane has right now because he has zero.
You are right. Infinity counter is like not on the bombs because sometimes that can actually look like 8 bombs or 0 bombs. But in this case, we know that everything is going to be pretty clean.
Another old man joke? Good
Lord. Of course not. It's just for clarification. Okay, so Buane is fast and furiously headed towards Mothula with Temper Sword. He should, I would expect no troubles from him.
Right in his wheelhouse for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's basically. I mean, for both Buane and Jem, like probably two of the best, executioners of this game in this community. You put executioners, people who play this game real well. People play this game real well, and they got tempered and boots so early. It's just ups their comfort level, so much.
This is winner's bracket again, so they have not lost yet. So executioners will definitely be applicable because they have murdered their opponents on their way to this round.
Speaking of this tournament in general, right? It's been, losers bracket looks just as scary, if not more, than winners bracket.
That's just the field, man.
Yeah, it is, especially at this stage, right? It's just like your next opponent. It's like maybe you got somewhat luckier, first round because it was still 128. It feels still very strong, but maybe the relative variance was a bit higher. But as you start every round, basically, there are no more free ones. Not really any random is going to be considered free, but you're looking at a winner's match here for winning Buane and Jem, right? One of them unfortunately is going to get knocked out. It's going to be really sad.
The only free match Buane has had is this one versus Jim because he's just thinking back to that qualifier. But outside of that, he did say that all the other ones I was worried about.
I had forgotten that Buane had already taken a game off of Gem unofficially, because it was in a large first room, but Buane did finish faster. Hello, that is
Ooh,
an
that's a good
excellent
item.
find, actually, for Gem on Graveyard Ledge doing his North Dark World checks, finding Canis Amaria. So we can now really go into Ice Palace, right?
Yeah, Ice Palace not looking as bad now.
I can't believe Gem wants to go into a completely clearable crystal dungeon with that Canis Amaria. Like, he's trying to
seems a
like
little
follow
better.
logic.
Man, that was like all of your Turtle Rack items here in the front of Skull Woods. Or no, never
Yeah.
mind, because Kane was not in Skull Woods, but close enough.
No, I guess probably like the big part for Buane here is after he finished up the front of Skull Woods, is he going to like he needs to go to Graveyard Ledge. I'm not sure if there's going to be a better opportunity for him to do so.
He's gonna go, and then like hilariously enough,
right?
I'm gonna crack up if he finds Kane, and then he does not go to the pod area again, and he goes and does Mire just in case the hammer is there, and it'll be like the latest Eastern Palace play you've ever seen.
I mean, maybe again, Buane is just, like 20 steps ahead of us because, as inefficient as this is, Gem, oh my god. Did Gem get to combine Pod Eastern together in one go? No, he didn't. Buane's gonna be able to do that. If he ends up finding the hammer here in Mire.
But I think important to note for the race is that Desert didn't have anything in it, and if like Hammer or something is here in Mire, I don't see Jim doing that to completion, so that's gonna be a good chunk of time for him to make up.
So, but we also haven't checked Green Pendant, right?
He did.
So that was... Oh no, that's right. Sorry, Buane has checked. Did he go back?
He has been to Saha twice.
Okay. I must have missed it then. Okay.
Yeah. And he's literally thinking to himself, "Do I go Mire now?"
Well, he's continuing, so this is gonna be Catfish. Oh
my
gosh, though!
Hammer and Mire.
This is such a fast seat for Gem. Is that? So I think that's go mode, right? Because Gem doesn't need the lamp. I mean, I guess we could ask him.
Yeah, that is go mode. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, holy cow. So Gem, no. So this is actually gonna be really exciting. If Gem actually has still spooky arm, he does actually, he said before the race that he has like just a setup in order to do Dark Mire reliably. So hopefully we're gonna be able to see that.
We won't, because he doesn't have a lamp. Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. Buane, what are you doing next? We doing
is
Zora?
Is this the
Are
lamp? This could be the lamp? This is the- oh my god! It's not good for Buane. Oh man. Man.
I think this is good for Buane because
what? It is? Why?
he's gonna end up saving and quitting, I assume. And if he does that, then he's gonna go to Mire, and then it'll be a foot race where Jim has a head start. But if he goes to Pod now, it's most certainly like the end.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
It's not looking good right now for Buane fans.
Oh, do you see him?
However,
oh man, he was really hoping for his shirt to come through for him.
Okay,
and
now
that's
it's
why
not
he was standing.
Because I think he's going to preserve his Dark World portal. He's been thinking Hammer and Pods since like 20 minutes in.
Probably, yeah, since probably ended up skipping out on Eastern. I don't know how much that decision or whatever, just realizing Silvers were there on race game, and then I don't know how much that like influenced his future dynamic routing.
Yep. Well, Hammer Go mode, that'll do it to you.
Yeah.
Jim is ether, right? We don't have
he
the
does,
medallion
yeah.
mark?
So it was,
okay.
it was a mini mold arcade.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're trying to see in this case what Gem is doing. I don't know if actually he's doing spooky.
Not with this.
It looks like he has Canis Maria. Maybe we can ask him later what he ended up deciding to do.
Ask him now. Jim, what are you doing?
I think he threw the block a little too far, but otherwise, a good thing he still has magic left. So we do actually have a flute, and we have one bottle. I think Gem probably didn't end up doing Desert Ledge because he just went straight into Mire. So most likely we're probably going to see him at least maybe go buy one potion, maybe. All right, and of course with that, like Gem is through the basement. That's so fast.
It was a heck of a route from Jim. Like,
oh yeah, heck yeah. Like,
if you guys are watching, like, go ahead and tell me where you save time in this seed.
over Gem?
Because, yeah.
I don't know,
what do you
man.
do?
Well, I guess you don't have to go to Eastern immediately, right? You because you just go to Zaha.
Yeah, like what Buane's doing right now? Because that's not saving time.
No. I mean, it's like you didn't have to, go over to Eastern Palace, right? You just go to Zaha and just leave.
This is nailing the coffin right now.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So, but I mean,
you know what? Gem fired like 2 extra arrows somehow for whatever reason, like on Vitria. So surely it's gonna buy Buane some time back when he does this boss.
Buane, is that face he made? I'm telling you, man, he wanted to do it, and he's uncertain if this is a good idea or not, and unfortunately, it's not a good idea. It's gonna not work out in your favor at all.
Try to actually think right now where kind of like the major progression items are. Okay, so we did so. Basically everything though, it's just kind of seemed along the way, right? So, and these are the type of seeds where I would say that Gem like really shines in. I mean, he can shine pretty much in any type of seed, but it's like when the seed is, I won't say quote unquote like too linear, but when basically it's like you have crystal dungeons you can complete, and the things are in your crystal dungeon or like among like the most common, I would say, overworld spots. It's really hard to be able to stop Gem.
He is very methodical in his routing for sure.
So maybe like Graveyard Ledge was probably like the most out of the way location. But I mean, from the way that this seed kind of unfolded, it kind of seemed like going to Graveyard Ledge was not going to be something, I guess, like uncommon.
Because you were gonna like do Skull Woods because you got your Fire Rod, at the right time. You got it, a little bit later, and then, no hammer. So you're like, oh, I'll do Graveyard Ledge, go over to Catfishing, to Pod, looking for hammer. But then you find Kane, and you're like, oh, I'll just go to Meyer. And then all of a sudden, you're in go mode. And then all of a sudden, Buane's about to go to Pod.
It looks like, though, Buane also is going to make, I think this was also predicted, by Buane's teammate, Big Dunko, was that he was also going to skip the middle of the key chest. So at least it's going to be good for Buane in that he's not going to lose any time over Gem.
And Buane technically doesn't have to go to Pod now. I mean, like, he does have his portal all the way over here, but, like, in case he wants to hedge his bets, he could actually go to Meyer and clear Meyer and then die, and then flute over to Eastern, and his portal would still be there. So it would save him the walk, but like I don't know if that's gonna be quite where your head's at.
Well, I guess I'm also curious. Like, it seems like death warping in Meyer or in the Overworld. Is that faster than just floating over to 5 and going back into the portal?
Well, but the thing is, he doesn't know that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. He doesn't know that there's a hammer in Meyer. Yeah.
And those birds kill you pretty fast.
Well, that is true, but they have blue mail, right? That was part of the issue. But I guess like 2 hearts damage is still pretty good.
And by the way, Jim is so good at this game that he opened like 2 chests on the way in Ice Palace, and one of them was the lamp. So go ahead and scratch that one off. Yeah.
All right, you know what? Okay, so while Gem and Buane, of course, are extremely more than capable of being able to complete the seed without the lamp, as we've demonstrated both from Meyer, I guess soon to be Pod. Having the lamp, especially with no half magic in the pool, is actually pretty useful for like GT of Ganon. Just so you don't have to just like worry too much. I think you have silver, so it's not going to be like the end of the world, but magic resources.
Cold stair fight, man, that was sick.
Gem, I think knows something. He must be feeling pretty good about the seed. Like,
I don't even think you noticed it. You're just like, that's just Gem.
Well, I mean,
it was a really good fight, but you're just like, Gem.
It's I think that the standard for boss kills, especially between Buane and Gem, is kind of on a higher tier than most mere mortals. I would say there might be like one or two that are that are on par.
Most certainly, it is always a treat to watch them. All right, who's gonna finish Pod first, Buane or Jim? Get your predictions in chat. I vote Jim, so you guys can't pick it.
Where was the big key, out of curiosity?
I don't know if we've seen it yet. That's Pizza Hut. So this is probably a small key.
Wow, Ak, you're so smart. Can you make some more predictions? How many more keys are we gonna find here in the front?
At least one more.
One?
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess if the key's in the bag, that does kind of help. But, again, Jim, definitely went to the meat and potatoes locations in the seed, and the ones he didn't were, you know, Samaria. So, but I mean, I guess Buane did hold out in that mirror to get silvers at a more efficient time, but it definitely did. Those transitions were not a full green pendant's worth.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess Gem just has to knock out how many more crystal dungeons? 3 more. So he's actually gonna be able to go mode swamp as well. We also did see how fast go mode ice palace was, especially with Icebreaker and Cane of Samaria. Pod looks like though Buane is still searching for that big key, so just because of that, Gem is probably gonna have to also search. And Buane just found it, so it's going to be in the back of Dark Maze. But of course, we're just kind of imagining Buane's movements through these rooms. He's barely even showing us his high definition lamp. But you know, Gem has like the normal version, and we're going to be able to see everything. It's like he has like an overhead lamp or something, where Buane just has a little like a handheld one.
Yes. Echolocation. Also, if anybody out there likes to, you know, clip good facial expressions or reactions, man, get your cameras out for whenever Buane finds the hammer, because I imagine that it's gonna be good. Or bad. It's probably gonna be bad, but like the bad kind you want. The good bad.
the entertaining one for us? Yeah, I mean, well, we're here to watch them, right? Okay, so Buane did end up finding half magic in the big chest. Not quite the thing he was looking for, especially that he was already at full magic.
Yeah, 1/8 magic. It's the greatest
right,
item
1/8
ever.
magic, yeah. So Fire Rod spamming is free after this. That is big key for Gem. Maybe he wants another small key. Maybe, what else is he searching for? Okay, you know what? Gem is also on 7 hearts at this point. And he does a blue mail, but maybe, you know, maybe another heart container or something would be.
Or half magic.
Or half magic. You know what? Gem's not gonna be able to pick that up. And he is like a sliver away from being at full capacity. I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to take down Helmasaur. You know, with like a whatever 15th out of 16th magic bar.
He definitely doesn't have enough magic to kill Helmasaur with fire rod shots, if that's what you're
You know what? You are not wrong, Ak. You are technically correct. I'm hoping he has enough arrows though in order to take down the rest of his bosses.
We got silvers, we're good.
Yeah, but I mean
just grab that arrow pot on the way to Thieves Town, and then we got plenty of arrows. Alright. Jim, on his way to Helmasaur. Buane is slightly prolonging his hammer, but again, get your cameras out.
Yeah, we're ready here.
If it's those windable ones, get them pre-wound, because he is about to find his hammer.
What if they're like Polaroids? I guess they're instant, right?
Yeah.
You just have to like shake them, like the actual like film that comes out. Oh, poor Buane,
no.
poor Buane, poor Buane.
You know, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Actually, yeah, I feel really bad now.
You know
Can we cut out his stream? It's making me sad.
You know, Ak, everything will be forgiven. We're gonna have a really nice Thanksgiving where everyone's gonna be at the table.
Oh yeah!
And
the family's
we're just
coming back.
Yeah, you know, we're gonna have some nice turkey, some nice pie, and everyone was gonna be happy.
Buane, can you pass the hammer? I mean, pass the gravy.
Oh
no, I'm sorry, man.
I was gonna say, Jen needs to be a little bit careful here on Helma. Oh my gosh, Buane! Okay, you know what? We're not gonna have a happy Thanksgiving. You are not allowed to use double heart beefs, and he needs to really be careful here because that entire screen is just like death for him.
Oh, those freaking slugs, man. I hate them.
Yeah, 4 hearts of damage on green mail, 3 hearts, I think, on blue mail. Wizrobes are also do the same thing. I also learned, by the way, from your race earlier, because Birthchick also had double heartbeats, that double heartbeats do not go through the cutscene. They're actually paused, and I was so happy because Birthchick was also on the way 1 heart, and we could switch audio.
Alright, thank you, cutscene. This is the only time we're ever happy to see it.
Oh, did Jem finish pod already? Okay, we were supposed to like maybe pay attention. I don't even know if we got anything out of there. But looks like the Gem is on his way to his last crystal on the ground before we go up the mountain and to take out Turtle Rock.
Skyrock.
Please. Skyrock, you're right, Skyrock.
Yeah. After this, Jim will just have to flute to 9, and then he can finish his last Crystal Turtle Rock. Wait, this is the wrong version of the game?
Wait, flute to 9?
I don't know what
there's
a flute spot in Game Boy Advance, I think.
Oh yeah, didn't they add it because yeah, the Game Boy Advance version, I think they made a lot of things easier, right? Or maybe not a lot, but like it definitely changed the game enough. Because I think yeah, so there was the Zelda Marathon that happened earlier, I think this weekend, where I think the racers were playing on the Game Boy Advance version, and you can actually bomb jump over the Moldorm 2 gap, as opposed to like you need to like whatever bounce or hook shot over or whatever. And it was just like, oh, because I guess people complained or something that the difficulty was too high, so...
Don't tell people that.
I mean, that's the Game Boy Advance version!
So we're about to be playing on Game Boy Advance for the rest of our lives.
No, that would not be good.
It's hilarious, too. I mean, they had quick swap, so yeah, I guess that's the next logical progression. We got the quick swap now. As soon as we get the flute spot to Turtle Rock, and then next... we'll make the Moldorm gap model.
Is there going to be like a flute spot 10? I don't even know where that would go.
Progressive Game Boy Advance upgrades.
Thank you, Buane. We're hearing Buane's progress throughout the Dark Rooms.
And at least he didn't get hit anywhere.
That is true. He is still alive.
I suppose you feel okay with 2 hearts ish, but like 1 heart? I don't know. I wouldn't feel okay.
I mean, he is on blue mail, so I think the lightning he can survive 1 lightning attack. But certainly 1 heart versus 2 is not going to make any difference with these eyes. He is so close to that slime, but you know he's an MG runner. He knows exactly where he needs to stand in order to fire off those last 2 shots.
Thank you so much for dying, Vitreous, because with your death, we will no longer have to hear these heartbeats, so we'll refill his health. Meanwhile, Jim is flying through Swamp Palace here.
He's swimming. We have flippers. We don't have wings. We don't have feathers. We can't. We might be dancing through Swamp Palace.
Meanwhile, Jim is swimming through Swamp Palace. Not opening any more chests because I mean he got the lamp. So like, what the heck else is he looking for? Maybe he would just pop off waterfall and be like, oh, cool heart container, you know?
We did see him pick up some NMG arrows in Swamp Palace. I think he is conscious of his arrow count. He just wants to make sure that he has enough. Getting some kind of bad RNG from these water tektites, though, whatever they're called. But it looks like Buane with a hammer. He was in go mode, finished up Vitreous, and I think we were so focused on how much we needed something to die. It was either him or Vitreous, hopefully the boss. That we forgot he was in go mode.
As long as somebody died.
Yeah, Buane extra hard on himself, of course. I think he realized he missed the quick warp into Swamp. Not sure if he's capable of getting it back on the way into Swamp, though.
Boy, I couldn't answer that question.
Yeah, I mean, this we might need an NMG expert from someone.
Well, that's why we have Clear Mouse, the NMG.
No, you know what? You know what? Buane looks like he actually got the quick warp. So Buane is skillful. He actually got 1 out of the 2, saving himself 34 frames. Sword beams though are. Okay, I've been told that sword beams are actually a good thing for this room, but I don't know. I think it's more RNG dependent. But, you know, I'm not going to argue with NMG people for this. Okay, so with that, though, Gem is already on the mountain. He's got his hook shot out. He's going to pay homage to the Waffle House drive-thru screen. Just like what you did earlier, Ak. And we are already going to be on a way to Turtle Rock.
And if you guys want to go ahead and get your numbers in chat, you can guess 1 through 5 of which chest you think the Turtle Rock Big Key is going to be in.
Don't we also need like a small key though too? Maybe.
1 through 5 to guess which key you think the Turtle Rock Big Key is going to be in.
Okay.
We don't do the small key guessing game.
Oh, you're right. This isn't Key Sanity. This isn't. Although you know, so. I was gonna ask if you think Gem is going to open up the big chest of Turtle Rock first, or Mimic Cave, but you know what? Gem's in go mode, so he's not even gonna have to bother with that. He's just gonna skip out Mimic Cave completely.
But he might still do the big chest route. Does he always do that? I think you would know.
I actually don't really pay much attention as to what his dungeon routing is in TR. But I actually always assume that he. I guess he opens the big chest, but I have seen him skip it before. We're gonna watch.
4% chance that given certain key layouts, that it is mandatory to open that big chest.
Okay, so I don't know if he would take that chance right now in this situation, because I think from his perspective, at least watching him play, right, like, he has found everything on the way. He has not really gone out of his way for, like, much of anything. So he might be feeling pretty good.
But, like,
right?
also, I feel like you gotta be thinking that the route you took was also not out of the realm of possibility. Like,
That's true.
you know,
Yeah,
there were
especially
some...
for Buane. Yeah.
Yeah. I would
Because
imagine that he feels like he is at even, you know, at worst, I would imagine.
Oh, Buane, though. Oh, man. So, yeah. So much focus here, but I was gonna say, Buane just barely missed the zero cycle.
By the way, if you guessed 1, that was the...
that's the right answer?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we just have to... Okay, so actually, did you have to catch the layout of what was in the other chest as well?
It was a small key.
Okay, so then is this like the good layout then? Small key?
I mean, it's as good as it can get so far. If he gets like another small key, then yes, it is like perfect.
Okay. Oh, that Bari, just barely missed him. Good for Gem for not slashing.
But yeah, Swamp done, so Buane still has to finish Pod, finish Ice. Meanwhile, Jim is cruising through his last crystal. About ready to tie up the score.
Yeah, nice use of iframes in order to get past the chomps. Looked like maybe RNG wasn't super great in order to get to the right side, so Jam didn't take any damage from chomps, which is always very impressive. Buane, though, is in Ice Palace. He, good thing he wasn't baited in here earlier with doing hammerless ice, because that would have been also pretty bad. So, but it looks like actually, based on what Gem did in Ice Palace, Buane most likely can also pick up the lamp if he chooses to open up something.
Yeah, I feel like if you didn't have Bombos, you wouldn't get the lamp in this seed, because you'd probably want to save your magic, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah. And actually, I don't think... Man, did Buane go to the potion shop at all? Like, he has a B, and he has an empty bottle from Desert. But I don't know
I don't even think he got the empty bottle.
Oh, you're right, yeah. Actually, I guess maybe not, because he might have just seen it.
Yeah, he looked at it and
yeah.
scoffed and then turned away. He basically treated that bottle like Silver's.
But doesn't that mean he would go back for it eventually? Man, that...
Yeah, well, he's gonna go back.
So smooth. Okay, alright, so he's gonna go back. Maybe before Total Rock, maybe for Ganon, maybe after he finishes the seed, you know, something like that.
And Jim is going to take no risk in this seed. He will open up the big chest, which, I mean, again, it's not bad by any means. Hitting a small key there, too, also feels good.
Because that... Laser Bridge, right?
Well, we get to skip Laser Bridge, so, like, you lose a little bit of time, but not very much. And then also, he knows there is the potential that, you know, your opponent could be greedy and end up having to redo all of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that would not be a good experience.
No, it's never is.
Especially, I mean, it's like, this is already a pretty, you know, high caliber match. Like, this probably, I mean, I'm not sure if they really were... Okay, for good competition, of course, this is going to be one of the best matchups you'll have before advancing into the next round of brackets for tournament competition. This is probably not a matchup that you want to go through, so... Especially, you know, if you end up doing a dungeon over, or, you know, taking actually a death on one of these bosses, right? It's just really not a good feeling, so it's kind of silly for us to see.
Yeah, the skill ceiling is so high now. Like, minor mistakes are now major mistakes.
Wait, please. Alright, okay. So, we didn't hear any heartbeats, which is, I think, the victory for all of us.
Yes. Thank God for Blue Mail.
Actually, no, I guess Buane actually was on one hit KO from the pops.
I was gonna say maybe Blue Mail wouldn't have helped. Yeah, Green Mail, we wouldn't have put the heartbeats either because he'd just be dead.
At least you could take one more from, like, the falling icicles, right? That wouldn't have been so bad. Alright, so Gem's already on Trinix, and nice to be able to skip out on Laser Bridge, and then he just needs to finish up Trinix Phase 2, and then he's gonna go on to GT, where, so I guess are we gonna also play another game? So is it 1 through 9?
Everybody
9 or
pick
not
a number
9? Okay.
to guess where you think the TR big chest is gonna be on Buane's side. And then after that...
TR big chest on Buane's side?
The big key, yeah. And after that, you can pick a number between 1 and 22 for the Ganon's big chest, if you prefer.
You know what? I think Gem's feeling probably pretty good right now. You saw him just make a slight stretch in the cutscene. I think he's ready to take down Ganon's tower.
Jim, you've been playing the seed for 1 hour and 2 minutes, please. You should have consumed at least 2 liters of water by this point.
Are you really sure it's water? I mean, it is pretty late over there in Germany, right?
Again, we've established that it's okay,
unless
we're really going to shame Zelga that much. I prefer not to, because he's awesome. But yeah, I think, you know, it's execution at this point. I do think that Jim knows that there was not much he could have done better, but I think he also knows that maybe the route he took was like not that far out of the realm of possibility. And then you gotta account for Buane execution.
So, alright, so speaking of accounting for Buane execution.
The GT route.
Right. Yes, this is gonna be probably one of the few times where you will actually see Gem not go right to Hope Room, because he knows that Buane, this is the price you get for being famous. You're easily read, is that Gem in this case wants to match Buane's GT route, so he doesn't introduce any extra variants.
Yeah, I think that'll tell us exactly everything we need to know about how Jim feels he is in this race, because he is like, I do not want to lose to Buane's route. So he thinks that that means that this is a dogfight in his position. He wants to do everything that Buane perhaps may or may not have done, so he's feeling like he's in a good spot.
Yeah, so alright, so it looks like though we did... Wait, I was like, I'm gonna pay attention to what was in Hope Room. What was in Hope Room? Did you see what was in there? Was there a small key?
There was 2 chests, and then there was like, there's like this pot that he has to like pick up. And then
I know, but I'm wondering if like he actually took his
tricky.
Normal routes.
Did he have?
It was. I mean, was
the
there
pot or the switch? No, there was a switch under the pot. There was not a small key.
Okay, all right. Well then, if that's the case, then.
No.
but I mean, in this case, maybe one route actually would have actually caused a divergence between his route and what he thinks Buane will take.
Okay.
Alright, so nothing in Compass Chest. Alright, so Compass Room. Alright, so
you
does that go?
You don't need that small key, do you?
I
don't think you need it.
I guess maybe not. Maybe he just doesn't have to go kill the Helmasaur one.
Oh, pacifist route. Alright.
Yes.
Maybe he did need it though. Alright. But no big key yet, so if you guessed a high number, looks good. If you guessed a low number, doesn't look that good. Can't change your guesses, they're all locked in. Alright, yeah, now we definitely didn't need that small key, but I mean, we say that after the fact, so it's a little easier.
Yeah, looks like that stuff has just gotten into Gem's way. No blue boomerang, so I think the boomerang tosses are just gonna be in slightly different positions. Actually, so maybe we should have actually been counting as we go. Okay, so Gem did 4 on Stalfos, 1 on Torch is 5, Compass is 9, Fire Bar is 10, this is going to be 11. Let's go with that.
I mean, I don't think I've ever attempted to count the GT chest, especially the one time I got it wrong, and everyone was like, "No, you got the wrong one." I'm like, "Well, if you guys know, then I don't have to count," and I never did it again. So.
Wait, do we? I thought we needed to keep track of who won because we're all looking for like our frequent winners.
Our SpeedGaming live. Oh yeah, 15 in a row.
Stamps. And yeah, so I would really like that SpeedGaming notebook, so we can actually take better notes here for our runners and commentary.
Well. Unfortunately, I didn't win the notebook to keep track of who's winning, so that's how we stay ahead here.
Oh my gosh, dude, how are we going to, how are we going to end up? maybe the system is rigged.
It is, that's the point, yeah. I'll be open about it, it's a rigged game. But yeah, is that GT big key gonna show up anytime soon?
Maybe. You know, we only got this chest here. We got 3 more behind Ice Armos, and then we have the one where no route really matters, except for maybe the one that you rushed Tile Room first. Jan, though, you know what? He found the key. He didn't even have to wait for the bottom floor to explode or to drop down, and we are already climbing GT. He already turned off the silver arrows in order to try and save himself a little bit of lag in this room. it looks like actually he's being a little bit more careful with his health, just because he is conscious of the fact that he only does have 8 hearts, which I think, I won't say like normally, but it's very common for runners, at least at this point in the game, to have like 10 or maybe like 11, and so you don't have to be like as careful with your health.
Yeah, normally like this is the health you want after you know, take the damage going through the spikes, and then the inevitable damage you take here when you run into the Igor, and then you get hit by the spike, and then none of that happens to Jim because he is very good at this game.
Yeah, so, but no, Buane is not actually that much farther behind, considering how much, I guess, like, quote-unquote, extra he's done in this scene. He is always going to make his way over to the rock pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, you know, doing the best he can, but unfortunately, he did run into a formidable foe today with a fantastic route, and it's just tough to beat, man. But I mean, that's the game that we all play. You know, we're familiar with the pros and cons, you know, the risk and the rewards, and Jim was very rewarded today. And then I don't know if you mentioned his stat sheet of all of his finishes, you know, in this tournament, but
I don't think I have, but I mean, Jem, you know, he
tickle
has
a surprise, yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I don't. So just based on how some of the qualifiers have went, Jem didn't quite nab the #1 seed out of qualifiers, but he has been tearing through this bracket. Certainly very impressive. So Jem, another one, you know, about Buane and Jem is that they're both very consistent runners. It's just that their execution is ridiculous, and both of them have, you know, ridiculously good runs. You know, you have to be pretty good and consistent in order to make it, you know, so far into the brackets every single time.
Absolutely. And then the third factor, which I do think is important, and it's not necessarily a factor to overshadow like their abilities, because it doesn't, but luck is also very crucial as well to make it very far. But I'm not saying that that's the only reason why.
No, I mean, but certainly there were things, I guess I would say, for the seed that they did end up, I mean, at least things were in their favor, right? You know, Buane didn't have to go find the mirror specifically, and Village of Outcast kind of saved him from, I guess, another trip over to get silver. You know, Jem, I guess, and maybe Jem actually knew that Buane was also going to skip that chest in Eastern Palace. I guess I don't know. But at least in this case, like, they didn't have to have that additional feeling, the sinking feeling of, what if that item that was important to me is in that last chest in Eastern Palace type of feeling.
Yeah, it did seem like they got everything before it got to like that dirty part of the seed where it's like, all right, what terrible thing do I need to do?
Yeah, and I think part of it also is they just found, you know, maybe it's just another fortune, you know, that you know, Buane's teammate here helped that the ice rod was in the Chronic's Hole. It was relatively early, right? Again, along the way, you don't have to basically dread that the seed is just going to be another one of those ice rod hunts, especially for, you know, for these two runners.
Could you imagine finding like Samaria but not finding the ice rod?
I don't want to imagine that. That sounds awful, because then you're just going to go to Turtle Rock trying to find the ice rod.
That'd be pretty. If you managed to do that this seed, that would be gross. By the way, we didn't get the 4% TR, but Buane did have to check a few chests on Laser Bridge, so that was the trade-off there.
Okay. Oh, because he didn't go outside, did he? Right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, good Aga 2 though there. I think that was a 3 cycle. I think that was a
well, I'll trust
a 2 2. I don't know, maybe maybe it was a 4.
I was not.
It was no more than 4.
Alright, Buane, of course, showing off his NMG execution, doing some backdoor strats.
That's not how they do it in NMG.
That's not how they do it in NMG? Maybe
no,
they
menu.
Right. You know what, Ak? You are 100% right. I cannot argue with that.
Never hurts to hear.
You know, it's just some things, you know, all things I cannot let you, you know, don't let me take good stuff for granted, because that is one of the best things about Randomizer here.
So far, this Ganon fight is looking textbook. We got the spin, got the first cycle down. Looking good for a 1 cycle on the second phase here. That's as good as you can get. And then Buane, on the other hand, really needing some help from Jim. A lot of help from Jim if he wants to catch up.
Let's not, you know, curse Jam at this point.
No, hey, I'm not.
race.
You're the one. If you say good things about him, he does bad. Not me. All right. That's been on you the whole time.
You know
so
what?
say something
Maybe,
nasty.
okay, Jam, go start up the practice hack and open 1,000 chests in this case,
Yeah.
so you have more practice.
All right, got our first.
Oh my gosh! Why was he so close?
I winced a little bit there, but it was okay. It was okay. And then, yeah, just one more silver, and yeah, get your GGs in for Jim. He will be moving on to the round of 32. Buane will be dropped to the lowers bracket. Man, God help whoever has to face him to advance to the next phase. But point being, it's not out of the money for Buane yet either. This is double elimination. And then we'll see if either one of them want to come chit-chat with us.
Yeah, GG's, Jam. Was a heck of a race. Holy cow, or at least heck of performance. But both by both these runners. I mean, it's also a heck of a race. But I mean, just like Jem, he just demolished the seed, man.
Thanks for the seed, lazy kid. And then we are also joined by the tomato. GG's.
Pretty sure it's an apple. He is the best apple. Please know the difference between your red fruits.
I'm sorry, that's my mistake.
Right. And I actually did look up the brackets so far. So none of the future opponents for both Buane and Jem have played. So the winner, that in this case, because Jem finished, he's going to play the winner between Yakimoth and Schultzer. I think that race is happening actually later this afternoon. And then Buane, being on the loser side of the bracket, he's going to play the winner of Plasma Kappa and Julo. I think that's tomorrow. It might be flipped. Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, and you know what? I think we said earlier, there was, no match going forward is going to be easy. This was certainly a very, very challenging one for sure.
But Jim, right now, he is here. He is going to talk to us. I think he's probably just.
Maybe he's waiting for Buane. I don't know.
I think he's got a bottle of champagne right now. I can just imagine him trying to get it popped, and he's struggling with the cork.
He has no lamp. You should know the situation better than any of us. We can't see a thing on his screen.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Jem. GG's. How are you feeling, Jem? This is your easiest matchup so far, right?
For sure. I was not sweating a single time during the seat. No. But definitely the scariest matchup so far, and I'm so happy I won this.
So I guess, yeah.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask, so like, so I guess like, during the various points of the seed, I mean, at least from our perspective, it looked like you were, like, everything was pretty much just on your path, like, so, like, I guess how were you feeling, I guess, like, during the race, like, potentially where you were standing?
Well, I mean, I felt like I was in pretty good shape, but, well, it's kind of, like, Buane could have always just taken the same road, or close to the same road, so, like, it wasn't really a special route that I took, right? So it was definitely a good route that anybody could find. So while I felt good, I wasn't feeling safe, so to say.
Is that why we, or you chose an alternative GT basement route?
Yeah, I just respect Buane. That's why I did this route.
You know what? I think
because
that's
nothing feels worse than
answer.
losing to this route, because I dislike this route, so I don't want to lose to it.
Yeah, but by turn, could you say that by you doing that route, it's actually disrespect to Buane? Because you're like, all right, if we did the same thing in the same route, I'm going to beat him because I'm faster. Were you thinking that at all? I'm just trying to hype up the rivalry, that's all.
Yes, I was definitely thinking that.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, what was I guess what made you skip the vanilla bikini chestnuts from Palace? Was that something that you knew that Buane would do, or is that just something that you thought would like potentially cut down some time for you?
Also, just to save some time, because like I said, I respect Buane very much, and it felt okay to skip it there because it was not in logic. So That's how I justified it anyway. It's not something I usually skip, but I feel against a strong opponent as Buane, I just like skipping it more than usual.
Well, I mean, it didn't have boots, right? So there wasn't gonna be any worry in this case about whether or not you're gonna get super screwed out of that chest.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you and Buane end up chatting after the race at all? Like, did he tell you like what he did or didn't do?
Yeah, he told me that he did my area before he did Skullwoods into North Darkworld. So he ended up clearing Desert. And didn't have Kane there the first time.
Did he also happen to mention that he was very fortunate to find the mirror in Village of Outcasts? Because he didn't quite recognize the prize on race game the first time.
No, he knew.
Okay.
Why would he go back? It was.
Well, it was like a delayed reaction, right? As in, like, I think he wanted to, like, he said you put out too early, right?
Oh, that sucks.
It was some like everything he did like made perfect sense to me, but it was some interesting stuff. I felt I don't know. I could be speaking for him. We can ask him whenever he gets here, but he was trying to go to pod without hammer, and then just kept getting items that was like, okay, I can't do it quite yet, but like I think he wanted to the whole entire time. And then like when he got Kane, I was really surprised he just didn't go to Meyer, and like you could see, you know, the twisting and the thought as, you know, on the cam because we can see it. And then he did catfish and pod, but I think you guys had discussed that in the chat. And his explanation actually makes a lot of sense too, yeah. But it was really interesting. I mean, he did Eastern very late. Like, he went to Saha twice and didn't do Eastern.
Really?
Yeah. But again, I think it was because he was going to do it like with pod, but then it was like he always found something just slightly better than that play. And it made sense to me. I don't know. I liked it. It just, you know, didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get it. I also said this to Buane, like my route to like after Skullwoods when I got the Kane sort of doesn't make sense to me in retrospect. Because my plan was to do like North Darkworld, and then I don't even remember what my plan was, if I wanted to flute away after Graveyard Ledge or after Catfish, but I wanted to do Maya after that and then come back for pod later.
Oh, so you weren't gonna go? Oh, I figured you were doing that just to go to pod.
No, I wasn't. So it doesn't even make sense to me.
Well, good job. You got the yeah. Getting hammered before Kane would really suck to see.
Yeah, for sure. Well, no, I wouldn't have done Mire. I would have done like Mire area and Desert. So,
oh, you wouldn't have gone into Mire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would have found yourself in pod somehow, no matter what, before going into Mire.
Well, that's hard to say. I don't know. Like, I would have done North Darkworld into pod after the Maya area check, but then I don't know if I would have continued after finding Kane. I can't tell you that.
I'm just trying to like fish out your brain for future opponents that you might face.
Oh, I see.
You know, whatever his thought process. Let's get all the details on him so we can, you know, find a system that beats Jim, because you're a tough man to beat. I don't know if you know that.
Actually, yeah, we were trying to speculate earlier, like where someone can save time over you for the seed, and it was definitely grasping at some straws here. Like, you definitely found a really good route, and your execution was just on point. That Coldster fight, for example,
could not throw the boomerang in Mire. I was mad about that because that killed Spooky off. And I
oh yeah, dude, that's right. I mean, like, we really wanted to see your Dark Spooky setup, because I think you said you got something pretty consistent, right? And then unfortunately we couldn't see it.
Yeah, that's why I was mad, because I wanted to do it on stream. And then I threw it at some magic I didn't even need. That was the worst part of it.
Alright, so right, you made it into round 32, which is certainly a really nice relief for you because you only had to play 3 games, right? So yeah, I can like sit back and relax for I don't know, a week or 2 or something like that before I guess your next round. I think your next round opponent hasn't played yet. I think they're playing tomorrow. I guess afternoon Rando time. It's gonna be Tumiaga and Schultzer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting match.
It is, yeah. All right, so with that, Buane has finished on stream with 1 hour 21 minutes, second place. GG's, get your GG's out in chat for Buane. Ran a heck of a seed. Execution is also pretty dang scary for Buane. It just happens to be that he ended up doing a little bit of extra stuff. And we're joined by Buane. GG's.
Hey, GG's, Jim.
GG's, Buane.
I minimized the race time room as I entered GT, which just happened to be when Jim finished. Otherwise, I would have joined you guys in here sooner. So,
oh, I see.
sorry if you were like grasping for more topics to talk about while waiting for me.
No.
No, we know how to fill time. Don't worry.
And your
I'm
GT was
talking
really
to
quick
pro.
too, so no
Yeah.
worries.
Overall thoughts about the seed, Buane? So I guess like, did you like? I don't know. So I think you ended up seeing silvers a bit later than expected, or at least it registered in your mind. Like, so did that influence anything, like in your later routing?
I saw it and I said, "Hey, silvers, all right, I'll get that later." And I save and quit. And I said,
Oh, so
"That
it's
was
intentional.
really stupid."
Okay. All right, intentional 15 seconds and then not intentional. Okay.
Yeah, it was intentional, but like not intentional. I did say it. I was like, "Okay, silvers, all right, I'll grab those later," and then I save and quit. And then I found the mirror in a perfect spot to grab them later,
Yes.
so that worked out. I guess I was thinking like, hey, they save a little bit of time on Gan, I don't need them, but like they also save time other places when you get them at the 6-minute mark, so you might as well pick them up. Yeah, so I don't know, my brain wasn't there while the save and quit menu was up. I guess it's just so tempting to hit that button.
Understood. I understand.
Yeah, 2 straight hammer go modes for me though. Hammer go mode is nerve-wracking because not only are there so many stupid places hammer can be, there's just so many places that you can picture your opponent getting to before you, so it's a little stressful. I don't really think I would have changed too much, and I'm actually happy that it wasn't like a 2-minute loss, because then you've got all these decisions you made to stress about. I wasn't making 9 minutes up with the route that I was kind of sticking to, even with kind of the weird putting off Eastern Palace, and like as it becomes more and more obvious it's gonna be Hammer, I was like, well, if Hammer's in Eastern, I've just totally ruined the seed from minute number 13. I didn't really, the way it played out when I got the hammer, even when I got the cane, I kind of said, I've been setting this whole thing up to go and do pod, make sure I can't like last locate pod if hammer's there. I found cane and I probably should have gone to Meyer, but I didn't think it was good anymore if that's where it was, because I didn't see Gem skipping Graveyard Ledge. If Gem came straight to Skull Woods after Fire Rod, he's probably checking that. So it just, I didn't think I really had too many more outs besides Hammer in pod, or if Gem had gone to Meyer without the cane, and maybe then he might not find Graveyard Ledge for a while. So those were my 2 plays kind of that I was hoping, and obviously Gem's too good, so didn't happen.
Gem, did you happen to see what shirt Buane is wearing?
Yes, it's a very good shirt.
That's the other thing. I so wanted it to be that. I couldn't.
We even saw you stand up, by the way, Buane. Yeah. Like when you were waiting for Zora, we even saw a nice front and center shirt.
I had to keep going even after Kane. I was like, well, no, we need to go up there. Like this has to happen. So I'm just happy. Like I said, if it was a 2-minute loss, there's a lot of things that I kind of am not sure, and it's really hard, by the way, like to route when you're getting so many good items, but you're missing a real key item like Hammer. You kind of feel like you want to put the pedal to the metal, and then you also kind of don't feel like you can, because like if you do that and leave holes all over the place, and then you've got to decide between 12 really terrible checks, you're in trouble. So it's tricky. Gem found a good one, and even though he says it doesn't really make sense in retrospect, like he's got the good instincts. So
Don't say that.
I got sucked into the desert thing.
Please don't say that.
I really think desert was a fun play. Like there's 8 items down there. If I go to Meyer, and check desert, it's like 8 items. But as I'm doing it, I'm like, this is a lot longer than it was in my head. And that basically put me behind even where, you know, the game was in Gem's hands from that point forward. There's nothing I could really change from there. So it's a fun one. You know, sometimes you get a really tough opponent. That's why we're joining these events, right? To play against somebody really good and leave it all out there. I don't know, to borrow a sports cliche.
Oh, I would definitely say you did that, and I think all of your rationale, like, not only makes sense, like, you know, now, but like in the moment too. Like everything you said was pretty much correct, so that was a good read on your part as well.
Yeah,
But
I definitely liked your route more than mine.
I like Gem's GT route. That's what I liked.
Oh no, that one's
no.
I believe Gem did that because he said that he respected you a lot, Blaine. So.
Oh, okay. That's I did. I had the stream up on mute as I was taking care of some kids here, and I did see in the replay, like, wait a minute, did Gem go that way first?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to ask him about that one.
So I guess
Wayne
yeah.
was
So,
thinking, I
yeah.
got him.
It's funny too because I knew I was like in such a bad shape. I was like, do I bother with like tile room first or full right side? I was like, if that is the difference in the race, I don't want to beat Gem like that. Like I don't want to do him dirty. So just stuck to the normal route.
I mean, actually, I think you were saying Blaine's going to show a lot of sportsmanship this game, right?
I don't recommend that, Buane. If you can win over Gem, please take whatever you can get. I speak from experience, man. If you can do it, just do it, and don't look back.
I think Ak is trying to convince you to take down Gem any way possible, so he doesn't potentially have to face him later.
Well, look,
so I feel like there is some sort of hidden agenda here.
Look, I'll keep that in mind. If we meet again after I play like 7 more matches or whatever it would take, then yeah, I'll put that to you, Zach.
Okay, sweet. I will be ready to commentate it.
Yeah, so speaking of, I guess, your next round opponent, I think they're actually going to play later tonight, is Plasma Cap versus Shulo. So I guess you will potentially figure out what that is in some number of few hours. But I think, Gem, yeah, you won't find out until like probably late tomorrow evening for you.
There's only good players left, so there's no easy matchups. I don't think there were in the top 128. Anybody can beat anybody. Just you hope to get lucky.
Yeah, I mean, given how like basically we saw like the landscape of both winners bracket and losers bracket, and which people ended up getting eliminated from losers bracket, it's really wild.
Yeah, there's some top players that are not even in the tournament anymore. They've already lost twice because, you know, nothing to take for granted. Not in this game.
This was so much fun though. You guys ran like amazing races, top tier execution. Really, really pretty to watch.
I do have to ask. Final question from me: who was first out of escape?
You know what, Blaine? You take the crown.
Blaine, you got it.
You do have it.
The switch at the end, and I was like, "Oh, Jim's gonna beat me out by a second because I'm standing here trying to grab the wall like an idiot."
I was trying to call the race for you, man. Like I had the officials and everything. I was like, there's no point in continuing, but they said let him go on, so we did.
I think Gem struggled a bit with the key rat. I don't know. You spent a little bit longer there than I expected.
There were a few bad things, yeah. I also tried the fun bomb strat on the Paul and Chenga that I did like once, but I forgot how to do it, so I blew myself up. But yeah, it wasn't pretty.
There's so much RNG in Escape in this. It's like frustrating to try and go fast because there's like frame rules all over the place and there's enemy RNG. So sometimes you get the 502 and you're like, that was solid. And then other times it's 512 and you just want to slam the reset button. But anyway, I was just looking for something to feel good about. So now we both take that away.
Blaine, if you rewatch like the Lost Woods segment, you guys were like screen for screen, like frame for frame synced, and then you managed to pull out ahead. Going into Kakariko. So
yeah, and then we salted that victory by saving quitting on race game. So we had a huge lead.
No, it was definitely an incredible race. Just Jim had he had a tough route to beat, man. It was I don't know. I think it's very tough to find a more reasonable route, but like that is not that route to do. That's better.
Oh yeah, like I said, when I saw 9 minutes, that's fine. Like you're gonna lose by 9 minutes. There's like nothing even to second guess. You'd have to second guess so many decisions. that it's not even worth it. You know, you lose by a minute, and then you've got a lot to kind of think about. Like, did I really need to do land mode? Did I really need to not do Eastern all of those trips over as a Hashra? But there was a lot that it was going to take for me to get on to get. And like you said, it's not like Gem did anything unreasonable. It's just you got the items, you went to the dungeons, and there it is. Like, it's very easy to mess yourself up in this seed. Like, get too crazy, you miss Kane or something like that, or you know, get really fancy and you skip Ice Rod or something stupid. So you can't go too fast. You couldn't just take all the safeties off. So
absolutely,
yeah, look, I've lost by 10 minutes to good players before. It's kind of a nicer feeling than when it's really close and you've got a lot to think about for the next week or whatever.
It was a positive way to look at it, man. It was awesome.
I mean, if you're playing rando, you got to find ways to stay positive, or otherwise you're not going to play very long.
It's very hard.
That's true.
I'm certainly looking forward to your next races, though. I mean, certainly should be, as you said, Buane, there are only good players left, and so the matchups, both for you and Gem, should be very interesting moving forward. So I'm certainly going to keep an eye out for your future races.
Same.
I will also be waiting for Gem's future races. It'll be a lot of fun. The top 32 is rounding off into a pretty elite group.
Yeah. Any more thoughts for you guys before I think we start wrapping this up?
I just shout out to you guys. I'm sure it'll be a fun one to listen back. I usually don't listen back to races that I lose, but this one is going to be can't miss. So.
You don't have to.
I didn't say anything bad about you.
I already caught a clip of like you making fun of Dunka, so I'm like, this is what I'm here for. Yeah, let's go. Let's watch this one back.
That was clipped. Oh, that wasn't me. But yeah, GG's,
no, it was
man.
Claremont,
Thanks
don't worry.
Yeah. Thanks for the great race, guys. Really appreciate it.
It was a lot of fun.
I'm glad we got you on the stream.
So happy that we were able to feature you guys. I mean, certainly was met and exceeded expectations.
Wow.
Thanks for commenting.
Oh no, it was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have nothing else to add. I can definitely hand off closing thoughts. Jim, you want to close this out here on Speed Gaming 6? Excuse me, Speed Gaming 69. I did catch your Twitch title before I started playing.
I figured we were up to that many. It was
yeah,
though.
You were close. You were very close. Or Clear Mouse.
Listen, bye.
Good night, guys.
All right, see ya. All right, well, thanks to our tracker, by the way, JLo, for doing all of the work. Of course, thank you, Buane and Gem, for coming in, not only talking to us for a while, and but also putting on racing, letting us feature you guys. I'm sorry, Clear Mouse, thank you. You are always a pleasure to commentate with.
You're my favorite commentator ever, Ak.
Yeah. Yeah, so of course I think there's still lots of random going on. In SpeedGaming 3, it looks like there's actually another league match for cross keys, if you guys are into that. Might be the rest of the rando for tonight. But I mean, there are lots of randos matches coming up next week for league, also for SGL, so keep your eyes on the schedule. Until then, have a good afternoon / evening / rest of your day.
Honk if you're a Gym fan. Bye.